Quake 2 previewed. Yes, we're finally on a game that I've actually played, but not on the N64, unfortunately. Data format previewed N64, price 45 English pounds, out August. Developer Raster Productions, publisher Activision. Call 01895 456 700, players 1 to 4. That's going to be the pin to my new phone when I get one. Special features, Rumble and expansion pack. We'll get back to on the expansion pack in a second. Other formats, PlayStation, and the PlayStation Quake 2 was rather lovely. So the previewer is Martin Kitts. It's been around for yonks on the PC, and now it's about to make its console debut. Could this be the multiplayer game to finally tranche GoldenEye? We'll get behind a railgun and find out. And that's the sound there of the machine gun, and it was absolutely beautiful to hear on the PlayStation, I should say. Quake 2 was one of the defining moments in PC gaming history and one of the most popular multiplayer games ever made. On a network or over the internet, fragging your mates or slaughtering complete strangers is terrific fun, but nobody thought it could be done anything like as well on a console. You can't have as many players, and there's no hiding. Your opponents can see your portion of the screen. Not to mention that the one-player game lacked loss of the PC, but important to the success of a console title. However, we've got our hands on a complete version of the N64 Quake 2, and we're pleased to tell you that it's far, far better than we ever imagined. Tasty. Tools of the trade. All of the weapons for the original PC version are here, with the exception of the rubbish grenades, and they're all useful in certain situations. The shotgun satisfying, the BFG outrageous, but the railgun is still a personal favourite. Time to introduce the Strog to the delights of the super shotgun. One clean hit and you'll be wallpapered. Kersplat. In the original Quake, you got a chunky square blood blobs instead of Quake 2's nicely rounded splatter of droplets, and just wait until you see full of gibbing. It's a very messy indeed. Player 1 is most definitely the daddy in this match, thanks to the gigantic ray gun he's carrying. That's a bit overkill. That's like playing on Commander and Conquer and only having like infantry versus mammoth tanks. Excuse me, sir, but would you mind if I tasted my new machine gun on your head? Indeed. Expanded. Slotting Nintendo's red and black 4MB matchbox into your N64 actually increases the number of colours used for special effects without slowing anything down. Cool. Dark and moody until somebody lights up the entire level with a BFG. In the grand scheme of things, not seeing something you really want to be seeing. That's true. The expansion pack enables improved colour and detail effects in the multiplayer mode. It's not essential, but it's still a nice bonus. Light fantastic. Unlike the PC Quake 2, the N64 version used plenty of coloured lightning to cheer things up a bit. It's also a lot easier to see and therefore kill your mates in death matches. Regarding the expanded pack, so basically the expanding pack was a little square box that was put inside of an N64 to increase obviously the memory. It did have some needed uses. The Donkey Kong 64, that needed it to actually play the game. I know Perfect Dark needed it to actually play the game also, although you could play it was like a skirmish type mode, but it wouldn't actually play the main game without the expansion pack. And that's it really. It's also increased the textures, etc. For the day, again, the technology was quite limited to now, but for the day it was actually right up there. It's amazing how they managed to put all this onto a gaming console. Animaniacs. As you can tell from the screenshots, Quake 2 looks great on the N64. The movement of the enemies and weapons isn't so hot, but nobody will mind losing a bit of animation detail when they see how fast and smooth it is in action. The simplest reloaded ammunition isn't exactly impressive, but at least you can always tell what's going on. Cop that. We won't spend ages staggering around in agony like in Turok 2. You'll be dead and gone in an instant. The most important thing there is that there's loads of enemies to kill and come at a terrifying rate. Ooh, shocking. DM arenas. In the version we've played, there were 10 multiplayer levels to choose from, all exclusive to the N64. They were superbly designed, with loads of great hiding places and secret weapon stashes. After several days worth of playing, we're still trying to find a favourite we like them all. So there was good gameplay. The poor guy in the bottom left is on the receiving end of some serious pain. Someone's been shot at. It's important to know when you can snipe safely and when to run like hell. That's handy, especially the campers in modern games now, like PUBG. They just want to be airstriked until oblivion. Multiplayer Quake 2 is the business. Blindingly fast, incredibly violent. In an average 10-minute game, you can easily notch up to 20 or 30 frags if you're quicker on the trigger. Interesting. Just like in the PC version, you get a sarcastic message whenever you cop a rocket or munch on a BFG. The arenas are often colour-coded to help you find way around. That's actually quite handy. New and improved. If you fancy a spot of solo blasting, Quake 2 has 19 brand new one-player levels designed to improve on the disappointing originals. They get incredibly difficult towards the end, although the puzzles are still all about hitting switches and opening doors. The pathway through the brand new levels are seen from the mission select screen. Interesting. Forgot all the stealth. He knows where you live and there's no escape. In other words, just keep firing. Pop a quick cap into him, then run away before his mates come. Sounds like life in general at the moment. Let's have a look at the first impressions. There's nothing like being pleasantly surprised playing Quake 2 for the first time, but we couldn't help but be impressed with how well it compares to the classic PC version. Obviously, the resolution isn't as high because there's no way you can get a PC-like sharpness on a TV screen, but the new brighter colours and lightning effects add a whole new dimension to the old brown and beige Quake world. Compared to other N64 games like Turok 2 and GoldenEye, the way the enemies shamble around and simplistic reloaded animations look dated, but the speed of the game is simply awesome. The solo game, which is much improved from the PC, moves at a lightning pace, but the death matches seem even faster. There's no slowdown either, with the frame rate always silky smooth, no matter how much is happening on the screen. If we had to pick out one aspect of the game that we were disappointed with, it would have to be the fact that it still looks drab compared to the opposition. But looks aren't that important, as you simply don't get the time to admire the backgrounds. Lose your concentration for half a second and you'll be blasted into oblivion. Top stuff. Good cop, bad cop. Fantastic death matches with smooth graphics and totally blinding speed. The solo game isn't quite up there with the likes of GoldenEye and Turok 2. Where is it? Completely finished? Activision are currently waiting for the final carts to be manufactured. We've been looking forward to this one for ages and hope you'll find a full review for you next issue. I'm not sure I've got the next issue. I don't know if I've actually got the issue after this. Don't quote me on that. However, that was Quake 2 for the N64. The PlayStation version was absolutely incredible. Absolutely, it still looks good even to the day. Obviously, don't compare it to something like PUBG or anything like that. But games were late 90s. That's how the technology was. What's on the next page? Ooh, Jet Force Gemini. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. And I look forward to giving some more content soon. See you soon.